everybody, welcome to another episode of Let's Play. Today we're taking a look at a classic. This is a Throwback Thursday Let's Play, Aeronautica Imperialis from Forgeworld. Now this game came out in the mid-2000s. I want to say like 2007, 2006. It was published in the big hardback format that Forgeworld did all of its Imperial armor books in. And it basically gave you new rules to play with your epic miniatures. At the time, Forgeworld was making 6mm, although they fit very well in 8mm, Forgeworld aircraft, and a couple of armies actually. They did the Tau army, as well as some Grey Knights and Demon Hunter stuff in resin too. All they really released for it was a deck of cards, some specialist bases for putting your planes on, and then a hardcover rulebook. And it included forces for the Imperial Navy. You had Chaos, Orcs, Tau, and I think that was it. And Space Marines, sorry, I should say. Although they had two ships. They had a Thunderhawk that they could sometimes fly like it was a fighter, and they had a transporter as well. There's a variety of missions and some light campaign rules where your fighters could become aces, do special maneuvers and stuff. But for the most part, it was a great pick up and play, fast play spaceship game, or not spaceship game, but aircraft game, in the vein of things like Blue Manx or Canvas Eagles, which were some contemporary like plane games at the time. I couldn't find my rulebook. It's in storage somewhere, but I found all my planes and bases. So I've got some printouts of the rules. I've got, I did find my cards actually, because they were in the same like Chessex carrying case with my planes. And I put in some Titanica scenery so you can see it to scale. And we're gonna throw down today the Imperials versus Chaos. So the Imperial Navy taking on the Chaos in, I guess, it's 100 points-ish that you play. We're playing 84 points. We each have about 4 or 5 planes. We're playing a dogfight. Now, I'm going to go through the core basics of like the rules. It's a pretty simple process. You're rolling for initiative, you deploy maneuvers. If you've played X-Wing, you're probably familiar with this kind of system. You do have limited ammo though and limited fuel, so the game lasts a maximum of 12 turns, before which everyone has to disengage, and you can of course fly off the table by accident and stuff too. So we'll show you the table. I'm going to give you the anatomy of some cards and the general sort of like overview of the rules, and we'll get this underway. So here we have the basic assets for playing a game of Aeronautica Imperialis. So first of all, some classic resin Forgeworld miniatures here. We got a variety of different attack craft, some Thunderbolts, some Lightnings and Lightning Strikes, and then back here a Marauder Bomber. That's the Marauder version. There's also the Destroyer version covered in guns, basically. Then over here, we've got some Chaos ships. There's only 2 types of actual like Chaos aerial vehicles in the game. There's no Helldrakes or anything like that. They didn't exist back then. So you have the Hellblade, which is the little guy. It is probably the lightest aircraft in the game. It can only take a single point of damage before it dies. And then you got the Hell Talons, which are heavy fighter bombers that are 3 damage, big heavy ships and have some guns and bombs and stuff. So in various missions, you want to have bombers and fighters, fighters for intercepting or escort, bombers for taking an attack to ground troops and ground vehicles and ground targets. Over here, once again, same sort of thing. The bomber does the bombing rolls. The strike is a long-ranged, high maneuverable ship, and then the lightning is a medium maneuverability, sort of like brawler, but it's a lot tougher than the lightning is. So let's talk about the anatomy of a plane. It's the easiest way to describe everything. You're going to have a variety of point values based on how tough stuff is, but all of your planes are going to share certain different types of stuff. So first of all, their type. Are they a fighter, bomber, or a bomber? How many hits they can take before they're destroyed? Can they carry troops for like landing missions and stuff? And their maneuverability rating. Now this is important. There's low, high, and very high. And there are 10 maneuvers you can pull in the game, all printed on cards. When you do a maneuver, you basically put the plane from one arrow on the white line to the next arrow on the white line after the mover's done. So if you consider that you have to do at least 1 maneuver per turn, and if you have your maneuver removed for whatever reason, you always default to number 1, which is a straight, just going in a line basically. You're always going to add this distance to how far you move. Now, when you do that maneuver, you can also climb or dive, and you can do it at various levels. So you can climb hard for an increase of 2 altitude, but minus 2 to your speed, or climb, just gently for 1 and 1. Same with a dive, increase your speed, reduce your altitude by 1 or 2. Now, if you are low maneuverability, you can only do the first 4 maneuvers. So you can go straight, you can do a low turn, which again can allow you to climb or dive. You can do a side slip, which means basically banking hard. You can climb or dive when you do that one as well. And then you can also do a power dive, which has to be a dive. You can do it straight or left and right, and you don't control it so well. So it's minus D3 plus 1 altitude, so you could accidentally crash doing it if you really want to dive hard, but you gain speed as well. So almost every aircraft in the game has access to these 4 maneuvers. If you're high maneuverability, which all of our planes are except for the Marauder here, you can do a high G turn, which is basically a hard bank, which again you can climb and dive during it. You can do a rolling high G turn, which means you come out the other side, and you can climb or dive during it, but not hard. And then you can do a half loop, which is a climb, where you come back out facing a different way, and a wing over, which is a dive, where you do the same thing. So these 8 maneuvers, everything here can do. And then there's 2 last ones, 2 maneuvers, the ultra high G turn, which is a very high maneuver, and the spiral, which is a very high maneuver. And only the Lightnings and the Hellblades can do those ones because they're very maneuverable. And that's the difference sort of like class-wise between your planes. You have a maximum speed. So for my Thunderbolt, it's 6. Minimum speed is 2. If you're ever reduced below that, you stall and have to make a pilot test or crash out. And then a maximum altitude, how high you can go in the stratosphere. Basically, do you have some type of oxygen supply or not? So the Thunderbolts all have a rocket booster, which allows them to go above basically like the highest ceiling to a 9. Orcs, however, don't have any kind of breathing apparatus, so they're usually capped at 8. And then a thrust, that's how much you can increase your speed by, or decrease your speed by while you're moving around. And then you have your weapons. All ranges are in 6-inch bands. So short is always 6 inches, medium is always 12 inches, long is always 18 inches. And when you fire, there's the arc you fire in. So you have a 60-degree front arc, and then 120 on the sides, and 60 on the rear. So where is it fixed? And then how many dice do you roll? So at short range, the autocannons roll 4 dice. At medium range, they roll 6. At long range, they can't fire at all. And then how you roll to hit is based upon where the target is in relationship to you. So if they're on the same altitude band as you, it's on a 5 to gain a success. If it's on a different altitude band, you need a 6. And you can shoot 1 above and 1 below your current altitude. So if you're on altitude 8, you could target 7 and 9. If you're on altitude 5, it could be 6 and 4. And vice versa. So where you are in altitude-wise is important as well. And then you've got your damage roll. So once you've gotten a hit through, it might not kill someone. You have to make a damage roll to see if it actually does a point of damage. And then how many times per game you can fire it. So the autocannons can fire 4 times, the last cannons 3 times. And then a special rule. So for instance, if you make a damage roll of a 6 with the last cannon, hit something important, and does an extra point of damage, does 2 damage instead of 1. Then you have loadouts. Everything in the game can buy additional loadouts for a bonus amount of points. And those loadouts can be picked from a list below. And basically it's your mission loadouts. So if I wanted to go on a bombing run, I could buy bombs for his hard points. If I wanted to fight other planes, I'd buy Sky Strike missiles. So in this game, we're playing a dogfight. I'm going to buy a loadout of 2 rounds of Sky Strike missiles. You can also make a mixed one where you take Sky Strikes and Hell Strikes. So lots of different loadout options. And then finally, special rules for the plane. This guy's durable. If the Thunderbolt takes a second hit, it rolls a d6. On a 6, it's ignored, and the aircraft continues with 1 hit remaining. So it has a 6+ shrug against its final damage point being taken because it's just a reliable plane, basically. It's hard to kill. So picking a squadron, typically every mission will give you a point value. We're playing the 75 to 100 point range because we're just doing a dogfight, which means we each have about 3 to 4 planes. So for instance, I'll be taking 2 Thunderbolts, each with an additional load of Sky Strike missiles to attack other planes. And I'm going to take 2 Lightnings, and each of the Lightnings will also have a loadout of Sky Strike missiles. So this is 88 points total. We're going to leave you 2 at home because we can't afford them. And then for the Chaos player, which is going to be Owen, it's going to be 2 Hell Talons and 3 Hellblades. The Hell Talons are 24 points each. There's no point in buying them at bombs because we're not doing any ground attack missions right now, so they'll just stay at 24. And they can't buy any special missiles. So it's going to be 24 goes to 48. Plus 36 means 84 points total for these guys. So it's going to be 84 to 86. About as close as you can get in this game. This isn't a game with exact point values. And the armies aren't really structured that way either. Yeah. We'll be playing a dogfight. Last thing worth noting is that your speed and altitude are on your base. Your opponent always knows how fast you're going and what your altitude is. Your speed is how many inches you're going to move in addition to whatever the maneuver card you have is. Your altitude is going to be what band you're on. So Owen and I are going to dice off right now, and the winner gets to pick a side. You can see our table here. We've got some nice rocks. Now the altitude of all of these mountains is going to be whatever their height is in inches. Same with the buildings. So all of these are like, that's a 3-inch altitude. That's a 2-inch, 1-inch, and whatever your altitude is, you're gonna have to fly over stuff. So we'll have some stuff to avoid here and chase each other around while we're playing the game. So this is a game with some bookkeeping, meaning you're probably gonna wanna write down how many rounds of ammunition you have. So in classic Battletech fashion, writing in circles and then filling in circles during the course of the game. Let's see who is deploying first. 4. I've got a 6. So I get to place the first plane and choose sides. I'm going to choose to attack from over here. Place a plane within 6 of the table edge, and it can be any altitude or speed I want within its legal limits. So I always like to start off somewhere in the middle. So we're going to go with an altitude of 5 and a speed of 4. You know what? You can go to speed 6. Now let's start off. Well, if we're going to climb, because we might have to climb, we'll go speed 5. Altitude 5. Dropping a Hellblade.
He's going to be 8 and 8.
Okay. We're up high. Altitude 8, meaning he can clear this mountain if he wants. I always like to pair a lightning with a thunderbolt. Get it? Thunder and lightning. Dun, 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 dun. So we'll stay the same. 5 and 5. Altitude 5, speed 5. And just have them go in tandem.
8 and 5 for this little guy.
Okay. Now the Hellblades are crazy fast. Maximum speed 8 and maximum altitude I think of 9 as well. What's your Hell Talon? I think it's maximum speed 6.
7.
Or is it 7? Ooh, fast. Altitude 8, speed 3 for this Thunderbolt, because who doesn't love being up high, going slow? 8 and 5 again for that Hellblade. His wingman will be in much the same spot. Going to be altitude 8 and speed 3. The reason you want to be going relatively slow at altitude is because you're going to gain speed going down. You don't want to accidentally make a stall test. We're deployed. So what's the altitude on these guys?
7 and 5.
So 8s and 7s going speed 5, and then these guys are...
No, 8s and 7 for speed. Altitude 5.
Gotcha. 8 and 8. So one guy up high, being a pilot, sort of like doing chasing.
And everyone else is zooming at 5.
Zooming at 5. All right, so we're going to then assign all of our maneuvers. So everybody gets a dial basically with a number 1 through 10, and that's what maneuvers they're doing. So these guys can do all of them 1 through 10, as can the Hellblades. This guy right here, and of course the Hell Talons can do 1 through 8. All right, so maneuvers are all assigned. Then we will go through and do initiative. So let's just dice off. I got a 5. You get a 2. So it's going to be me having initiative for the turn. Now, tailing fire would get resolved. Tailing fire is when you are within 12 inches and your front arc of your plane is within the rear arc of an enemy plane. You're basically tailing them. It gives you a second round of shooting against them at the start of the turn before everyone maneuvers. So the ideal spot to be as another plane is behind someone within a foot, because then you get 2 rounds of shooting basically every time you activate. You gotta anticipate the maneuvers. So we're gonna start off, we're gonna go right to the maneuver phase. Now when you maneuver, the first thing you do is apply thrust. So these guys are going speed 5, so speed 3 and speed 3. I'm gonna pick this one right here. Your altitude is 5 right now for these guys.
Yep.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to thrust up to 4. We're going to make a maneuver. So when you maneuver, you can play the card either before or after you make your initial move. Your initial move does not have to be any inches. You place the card. So it's going to be like this. We're going to go straight, low, and we're going to dive down to altitude 6. That's going to gain us 2 speeds. We end up at speed 6 now and altitude 6. You have to move your remaining movement because my speed is currently 6 and I haven't used any movement yet. I'm going to go 6 inches straight forward. And my plane is done moving. Plane passes over to Owen now, and he gets to pick one of his planes to go. Any of the 5 can.
Hell Talon's going to go. He did number 1, which is a straight, but he's going to do his... He's not going to change his thrust. He's just going to move 7 forward. And then he's going to put his card down, and he's going to climb basically to here, gaining 1 altitude, going to 6, and losing 1 speed.
So we're both in the same altitude band now. And you're down to speed
6.
6 as well. Well, let's continue on. Much the same thing here. Maneuver number 1, which is a straight. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to thrust up to 4. And then use the card. Actually, you know what? We're not going to thrust up at all. We're just going to dive. We're going to stay at 3, go to here, speed up to 8, dive down, speed up to 5, and dive down to 6. So the Thunderbolt has to make 5 more inches of movement straight ahead, because you always move straight ahead outside your maneuver. And up here. Hell Talon?
Flipping 1, he's doing the exact same thing.
So going 7.
He's going to go his 7, then he's going to put his card down in front, go in front, and he's 6-6.
Gotcha. If you're doing it straight, the card is actually just 3 inches, so it's real easy to just add to the movement. You have to measure those. When you do add to 3 inches of movement, it's front to back, because you move from the front of your card to the back.
And he that extra, like, almost 2 inches.
Yeah, exactly. So it's relevant, and you have to move your full distance. So this little fella, he's going to go number 2. And then he is going to actually climb. So he's going to thrust all the way up to 6. Because he's going to lose speed during his maneuver, he wants to make his full movement first and go up 6 to here. Then apply the card. And we're going to come out like that. And we're going to lose. We're going to go up to altitude 6 and go down to speed 5. The lightning done. It's over to you.
This little guy is going to go. He's going to do much the same thing as the other two did.
Guerrilla 1.
Yep, only he's going to go 8. And then he'll climb 1 into the 6 for altitude with his straight.
And reduces speed down to 5.
Releases it down to 7.
Down to 7, yeah. And go to altitude 6, rather. All right, so it's my last Thunderbolt. He's also revealing number 2. He is going to thrust up to 6. And then move 6. And then he will also gain an altitude, so he speeds down to 5, but goes to altitude 6. And he'll come out the card on the other side right there. It's the last Hellblade.
Second last.
Second last, sorry.
He's going to do the exact same as his friend did.
A straight, yep.
Drive up,
7.
put the card down, and he sits in horizontal.
And the last Hellblade over on this side.
He did number 1 as well. He's going to go his 8. And he's like halfway up that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's not actually going to change his altitude or speed. He's just going to keep cruising.
At 8?
At 8 and 8.
Cool, which makes us safe from each other because you're 2 different from my altitude is 6. Maneuvers are done, and that means we are on to the shooting phase, the combat phase, where we can take some shots. So now, both of these planes are altitude 6 versus both of these at altitude 7. However, both of your Hell Talons are also at 6. Oh, no, you're all at 6. Never mind. Awesome. You're altitude 7, so I can see up to 7 inches, so I can ignore this thing, basically, because you're way up here right now. I think we pick you to go first. So I'm with an 18 over here on this Hellblade, and it is definitely in arc. Your big boys are not, so I'm not going to be able to fire anything at them. So I'm going to drop 2 Sky Strike missiles into that Hellblade. I'm going to mark off one of my 2 loadouts of Sky Strikes, and then I get 2 dice. We're on the same elevation, so 5+ to hit. I land 1. So now the Sky Strike missile has a firepower rating of 3+. So I have 3+ to do a point of damage, and it does have extra damage 6. So if I roll 6, it does 2 points. Not that it's relevant against these guys because they only have a single hull point. Wounds. So we have tone. We have lock. To you.
That little guy is going to shoot a las cannon at this fella.
Good stuff.
Same height. Looking for that 5. Oop, that's the wrong dice. Get out of there.
This froggy dice. The froggy dice.
Bam. 6.
Does it? And so now firepower test of 2+.
6.
6, so it does extra damage, which means it actually destroys him and he gets blown out of the sky. That normally would have just done 1 hull point of damage to the sky, or to the lightning, but because he got the extra damage roll of 6+, it did 2 instead and shut him out. So you had 3 shots with that last can, it's down to 2 now, and it's back to you to pick somebody. So we're going to go back to Mr. Thunderbolt. Alright, so the Thunderbolt has the other Hellblade in arc, so he's going to try and drop some Sky Strike missiles as well. Again, 2 shots on a 5+. We lock on with 1, so that's a 3+ damage roll. And we fail, so we just clip it, and it doesn't actually do any damage. Drop a Sky Strike over here. It's got one round of missiles left, and this guy is scratched. Shoot over here, but out of range with your longest range gun, which would be your las cannon.
Yep.
I can't target anyone over here, neither can you, so no shots from this, and then we're well out of range to the Thunderbolt. End phase now. It's not the 12th turn, so nothing happens, and half of our ships aren't done. So once half of the planes are shot down, so if I lose 1 more plane, and you lose 2 more planes, we get a final disengagement turn, and then we tally victory points. So on to round 2. Determine maneuvers. So let's see what we want to do. All right, so maneuvers are out, so initiative. Let's see who's picking the first plane. I got a 6. To your 5, so I get to go first. Now, if there was tailing fire, it would get resolved now, but no one has anyone tailing anyone else, which means we are on to maneuvers. So, who wants to maneuver first? I think we're going to go over here, reveal that this Thunderbolt is doing a straight. It's going to thrust up to 6, make its maneuver first, not change altitude, and then go 6 to here. Over to you.
This fella's going to go. He's doing a 2, which is a turn. And he is going to maintain his speed of 6. And he's going to go 2, do his turn, and then do 4 more. He's not going to change altitude or speed. He's just going to keep drifting along. Like that. And then 4 more inches forward. Like so.
Alright, so we have number 6 here on my Thunderbolt, which is going to be a rolling high G turn. So I can climb or dive, not a must, so I don't have to do it. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut speed. Do I want to cut speed? No. I don't want to cut speed. I'm going to maintain speed at 5. Not apply any thrust. We'll move to here. And then I can come out either side of the card as I like. I'm going to go this way. No, I'm going to go this way, actually.
You didn't want to put your rear to me?
No, I don't want you to tell me automatically. And we'll come out going like that. Come the Hell Talons.
Second verse, same as the first.
Makes
He's
sense.
He's going to do his 2 inches forward. He's going to do his turn.
So doing a low turn.
Yep, he's not going to change altitude or speed and have 4 more inches to drift forward there. And be right in your face.
He's all done, so it's just this fella left, and we're going to reveal that we are doing number 7, which is a wing over, loop rather, which we are going to do at the end of our move. So we're going to thrust up to 6, move 6 inches to here. He's going to reduce speed to 3 and climb to 7, facing the other way. If I'm lucky, the maneuver that the Hellblade took me is going to shoot him right past me, and I'll be tailing him. That's what a Hellblade.
He did number 5, which is a high G turn. And he wants to not get hit in the face with that rock, so he's going to drive forward a bit. Probably all 7.
Okay.
Which puts him about here. He's not going to change altitude. He likes where he's sitting. And it is May. And then he's going to pop out
right
like
there.
So.
That's your final Hellblade.
He did 10.
Uh-oh.
Which is the spiral.
Oh, nicely done.
He's actually going to thrust down 1.
To 7?
Because his max is 8, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is going to gain him 1 as he goes down onto level with you. And so he's going to go his 7 straight ahead. And then he's going to lower his altitude by 1.
He's altitude 7.
Spin around. He's altitude 8 right now. Going down to 7.
And how far did you move?
I moved my 7.
Okay.
I'm going to gain 1 now. Going back to 8, so 1 inch forward. And basically be right there.
Facing each other. We both basically anticipated almost the same thing, and we're going to have a real close range engagement. One of us is possibly going to die.
It takes 2 health to kill you.
That's right. I could get lucky. So it is on to the combat phase now, and I am the first person to pick a plane. It's kind of a no-brainer. We're going to pick this Thunderbolts, and he's going to fire. We are just inside 6. I'm not at optimal range for my autocannons, but we'll fire anyway. I get 4 dice now. We are on the same altitude. That's going to hit on 5s. And there's 2 hits, and they are firepower 4+. So as you turn into me, I scratch the plane with a 5. This little fella. All right, you're coming right at me. Yep, you got it.
4 dice as well. Looking for 5s. Getting 1.
Getting
6.
1, yep.
And then our 4+.
4+ firepower.
No.
No damage. It's going to be other Thunderbolt then. I guess we're going to shoot the closest one to us. And we'll light you up with the autocannons and the last cannon. We're too close for missiles. Switching to guns. My missiles cannot be fired at short range. Just autocannons. Let's see if we can put some damage in this fella. On 5s. There's 1. And it's a 4+ through a hull point. We don't.
He'll go.
Yep.
And I think...
You might be better off firing at this fella.
He's going to go
Depending on if you're
actually,
within a
he'll
foot or
shoot
not.
at him
Okay, yeah,
with
makes sense.
everything.
Yeah,
I think you're within 12.
If I'm within a foot, then all of your guns should be in optimal range, except maybe the last cannons. Yeah, you're there.
Yep, last cannon's good at 12 as well. It's 0, 1, 1.
Yeah, that's right. It's always the same outside of a short range because it can't lock on.
So the autocannons on 5s.
Gets 2.
And then 4, 5 pluses for his autocannons. Does nothing. And then his las cannon on a 5. Misses.
All right, so then it's just this fella over here. We've got some las cannon that can't fire, but we definitely have our autocannon with 2 dice. Looking for, are we on the same or are we different? We're different. Are we?
We're
7?
both altitude 7.
7, all right, so 5s, 2 autocannons. Let's get one through. No, last one.
We're going to try and shoot this fella again with this one here. Definitely his las cannon.
Yep.
Maybe his autocannons.
Within 12? Not quite.
No. So just the las cannon.
Could kill me though if you get extreme damage.
5+. Crank.
Hits. Oh, 2+.
Cranks.
Not a 6. It just does 1 hull point. All right, end phase round 2. Neither of us are at half yet, so we're into round 3. Let's roll some initiative. Oh, sorry, maneuvers first, then initiative. Maneuvers are down. Let's see who's going first. Deep tailing fire because no one's fallen anybody. So who wants to maneuver first?
This guy will.
Okay.
He's doing a turn.
Oh.
He is going to speed up by 1, up to 7, and And then I'm just going to move my 7 because I'm about to get slowed down while I climb using this this turn. So I'm going back down to 6, but altitude 7.
Okay.
And I'll be right there. And then altitude's at 7.
And then speed 6. Get around the corner. No big surprise here. All right, so it's going to be, I guess, this Thunderbolt. He's going to reveal that he is doing a 6, which is going to be a rolling high G turn. He is going to make it immediately. He'll speed up to 6. He's not going to change altitude at all. And then he's going to go 6 inches to here. Slow guy.
Same as his friend.
Same as his friend. He's going to speed up at all.
Yep, he'll speed to 7.
His thrust.
But then he's going to do a turn and a hot raise again.
So climb up to 7.
Yep. And then go down in speed. And then he'll do his turn, following behind his friend.
All right, well, we're going to go with the lightning then. He's going to reveal that he is doing a 6. It's also a rolling high-speed turn. So he is going to speed up to a grand total of 5. So he'll end up moving to there.
Yep.
And then doing his.
That direction.
That way, yep. Facing like this. He'll climb to 8 and then drop down to speed 4 doing so, making us a different level than these guys, so hopefully their long-range guns can't kill me. Where's this guy going?
Another 10.
Another 10, oof.
But he is going to slow himself way down.
Okay.
He's going to drop speed down to 5.
So you can only go whatever your thrust is?
Which is 3.
Okay, yeah, so you can.
Yep. And then he's also going to immediately do his spiral and climb to go to speed 4.
And altitude 7.
And altitude 8.
8, okay. He has to move 4. And the last plane over here, we're also going to make a number 6, which is a rolling high-speed turn. So we are currently at speed 5. We'll speed up to 6. We'll move the whole thing to here. We'll make our turn. And we'll climb. So back down to 5, but we're on altitude 7 now. First shot.
Okay. I think that this little guy, he won't get shot back at. We're gonna go with this guy in the front here.
Okay. All the guns.
Still out of 12. Last cannon. This is his last cannon shot.
Last cannon shot on a 6.
6. No.
Might as well shoot back. We'll dump everything into the lead plane. We'll do our sky strikes and our autocannon and our last cannon. So the single autocannon shot on a 6. Nope. A single last cannon shot on a 6. Nope. And the sky strike hits. It's on a 3 plus the damage, and a 6 is extra damage. So does damage, just 1 point. He is done.
This little guy's gonna shoot you. 4 shots, point blank.
Yep.
Looking for 5s.
Looking for 5s. Whoa. You know, in an arc of the rest of my planes, you got one health cannon left. Yep.
Second last cannon for him. 6.
6.
No.
Phase again. Both fleets still above half, so we go to turn 4. And let's do some maneuvers. All right, maneuvers right. Let's see who has initiative. 3 to 4. It's you. This fella's gonna go. Once again, no tailing fire because he has to be in my rear arc to be able to do it. So the Helltown going first.
It's doing a 7.
Oh, geez. So that's gonna be a half loop.
Yep.
Thrust up to 7.
And then fly that 7 straight ahead.
Okay, first.
Where are you?
Here. Yeah.
All right.
Whoop. There you go.
It's going 7. Then it's going to lower him down to 5 as he does this and raises another one to his altitude 8. There we go.
Easy one. Reveal a 6, which is another high speed, high G turn. I'm going to go an inch forward. Now let's go 2 inches forward. So I'll thrust up to, what am I at right now? 5?
5.
Thrust up to 6. And then I'll make my ultra high G turn. Going this way.
Yep.
And then go the last 4 straight ahead.
Staying at altitude 6.
Yes, because I have to do it now. Follow.
Doing the same as his friend. So he'll go up to speed 7. Fly that 7 forward. And then he will do his backflip upwards. Turning around.
Altitude of 8.
Altitude 8.
Losing a speed.
Speed 5.
Thunderbolt will go. revealing that he is currently at speed 6, sorry, doing maneuver 6, which is again a rolling high G turn. He is going to make it immediately. So I'm going to here. I don't want to cut power. No, I don't have to because I'm just going to gain an altitude up to 8. Cut power down to 4. I will cut power actually down to 1. I'm at 5 down to 3 actually, and then cut power another 1 to go up, so down to 2, and then that means that I'll only move 2 inches forward when this is done.
You went up.
I went up to 8.
Yeah.
But I think I'm not an arc. Oh.
He's doing a 6, which is a ultra high turn.
Yep, ultra high G turn.
But he's also going to speed up to 7. And then he's actually going to take it immediately, which drops him to 6. Because it's -1 speed, but he maintains his elevation. And then he's going to go his 6 forward from where he is over to there. Elevation 8, and he's zooming around.
Revealed that we're going 2, which is a low turn.
Drifting lazily to the left.
I'm going to cut power down to 2, and I'm just going to stay at that level. Speed 2 and altitude 8. Guns, you have the first.
Well, this guy's going to try and get you in the back.
Makes sense.
Kill his friend.
That is the plan.
He has his autos, and that's all he's got. 2 dice at short range.
Looking for 5s.
Nothing.
Nothing in arc here, so this guy's going to be in the wrong elevation, which means I think we have to go with him. He's going to try and splash this little dude. He's got 2 autocannon shots on 5s, because we're on the same elevation. Got them both. And then his autocannon is damage 5+. Gets him. Splashes the crunch. Back to you. Alan's going to drop his last cannon.
Hitting on a 5. We're on the same elevation now. Cranks
Does.
it. 2+.
2+.
Does it.
Does it. Point of
damage.
That's going to kill him unless he can make his flying workhorse 6+ shrug against the last point of damage being taken. He does! Sorry, he wasn't actually damaged yet. He just takes 1. It was this guy who was on his last point. I was looking at the lightning's damage track.
That was his last.
He's got 1 left. Regardless, no matter what, he's got 1 left. It looks like all of our shooting, so end phase, you are now below half, which means this is the final turn. This is the disengagement turn, where you try and either fly off the board or preserve as many points as possible, and then we count VPs. Because once your escort's gone, the bombers decide to go home. Alrighty, so it is no tailing fire. Oh no, wait, you got tailing fire here right now.
He's gonna fire his autocannons at you.
You sure can.
Looking for 5s. Cranks them both.
Oh, and then 5+ damage.
Kills them both.
Shoots him down. We got your bat, but the bat got you, so he's dead. And did we roll for initiative yet?
Not yet.
We should have done that first, actually, but you're only the only one with tailing fire, so it doesn't matter. You're going first. You do. And with him,
flipping a 4, which is a good old power dive.
I thought this might happen.
Yep, we are fleeing downward. He's gonna lower his speed. No, he's gonna increase his speed by nothing. He's gonna just go as 5.
Okay.
But he's gonna dive down straight ahead. D3 +1 altitude down. 2.
So 2. So ends up on a 6.
And then he's speed 7. So he then goes 7 after the card.
So he's going straight.
So he pops out like
that, and then 7 more.
Yep.
Which will put you there at the end of that.
There. And then his altitude goes down to 6.
All right, well, let's do the easy stuff. Over here, I'll reveal that I got a high G turn, number 6, which means I'm going to move 6 straight ahead to there. And then make my turn. Conveniently landed on the same level as me.
Yep.
So that should be a little bit further back. I'll put that underneath. Perfect. And we'll come out going this way. And then your last Hell Talon.
Same. We're diving. Dive.
Speed?
And
speed 5 right now?
Yeah. He's gonna just dive straight.
Okay.
Like he's friended. And he'll pop out here. And he's gonna go 7 inches forward. But how low down did he get? 4 altitude down.
So down to altitude 4, which means no one's touching him this turn.
Yeah.
Because he can't. He is way below range bands for anybody to hit him. The last Thunderbolt will reveal that he is doing a number 8, which is going to be a wing over high, so that we can dive. We're currently at speed 2. We will increase that to speed 4, which means we will go 4 ahead to here, hit the card, to here. And I think end up with one less. So one more to there, which I think puts him out of arc. It's all right here now. This is for all the marbles. If I can shoot down this.
He's already hit 2.
Yeah,
I got 2 left.
All right, so end of turn. Let's see if we can't launch some guns into you. So there's only one person firing here. It's going to be the Thunderbolt. He still has a shot left with everything. So Sky Strikes, Las Cannons, and Auto Cannons. Start the Auto Cannons. We're over 6, but within 12. So it's 6 dice. Yep. 5s. We got 1, and then it's a 4+. Nothing. Then it's the Las Cannon, which I think it's 1 dice at that range. Die on a 5. Nope. And then the Sky Strikes have 1 die at that range as well, on a 5. Could get you. No. And that's it. So we have to determine victory points. So victory points, we now determine how much. So if you're destroyed, you're worth 100%. So everybody that dies is worth 100%. They're 12 each, so I get 36 for those.
Yeah.
Then it's damaged, if you have serious damage. So damaged planes, of which we both have 1. I think both of ours are worth 24, are going to give up 12 points each. So I go from 36 to 48 because you have a damaged Thunderbolt here. Damaged Helltalon here. Yeah. So 48 victory points for me. You've killed 2 Lightnings that are worth 20 points each for 40, and you've damaged one of my 24 points Thunderbolts for 12 more, so 52. So you're gonna win this engagement. You got away with the Helltalon. I couldn't quite shoot out of the sky, no matter optimal range or not over here. And that's it. The Chaos Escape, having mauled the Imperial Defenders. So there you go, a look at Aeronautica Imperialis, a mid-2000s aircraft game from Forgeworld. There wasn't a lot more than what you saw here. There was some Orc planes, there was some Tau planes. The big variations that you'd see if we do decide to film some more of this is things like bombing runs and troop landing missions. And I do have the Valkyries and Vultures to show that off. The Valkyries are very different plane-wise than the planes you saw. They have a minimum movement speed of, or a minimum thrust and speed of 0 because they can hover. And then the bombers, of course, like the Marauder and the Helltalons, would have things like ground targets. So we'd use the epic buildings as like targets and stuff. Now there's some talk from Warhammer Fest about this game coming back. So I thought it was a good time to show it to you guys and give you an example of what it looks like. So if we do a couple more missions, which we may do, we'll probably just take a look at the variations in how the game works. Things like the troop landings and, of course, the bombing runs and stuff where you can have some different raids. We have the models to accomplish that as well. So I hope you enjoyed that, and another look at a different game system and a Let's Play for Throwback Thursday. Till next time, I'm Ash. Have a good night. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Death Ray Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.